Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Klesha Nashaya Govindaye Namo Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Friday's Yoga Vashistha Satsang. It's a pleasure to see all of you in spite of all the ups and downs in life. Lots of holiday season is here, but also a lot of people are going through some trouble. I know Shankarji is going through a back surgery, and Brandon is not well, with he's suffering from COVID, and I'm happy to see Yogini ji. I was not expecting her today, but it's wonderful that she's here. Roshni ji, and then Radha ji and Meera ji, all of you dedicated souls, pranams, our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to our worshipful Guruji, Swami JyotirmayAnanda ji Maharaj, to all sages and saints, all the scriptures, and to the divinity in each one of you that makes you attend this satsang regularly. Hope you are benefiting from it, and your life should transform slowly, one day at a time. There's no rush in it. All these problems we have accumulated over many lifetimes take time. So be patient, be sincere and genuine, and then God's blessings will fall upon each one of you. Our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to all these divine energies, to our Guruji, to you, to everybody who is wanting to improve their life, who wants to do something about it. If the desire is sincere, then the divine energy provides you. अगर आप शुभ इच्छा से, अच्छे विचार से सत्संग से जुड़ते हैं, तो भगवान की शक्ति आपका जो भी कमी है वो पूरा करती है, जो आवश्यकता है वो मिल जाता है. Whatever you are lacking, God provides for. So during adversity and prosperity, always stay connected to satsang, to your inner japa, to God. Hari Om Tat Sat. Let's pray for everybody struggling, whether there are wars going on in Israel, Palestine, Russia, Ukraine, or there are people who are unemployed, hungry, or there is homelessness. There are so much pain in this world. So when we are all blessed, fortunate that we have food to eat, we have clothes to wear, and a comfortable shelter, so may all be safe in God's loving care. With that prayer, Let us read our Guruji's message for today and start this satsang. Swamiji says, Blessed Self, adorations, Divyatman, Shubh Ashirvad. Aspire for self-realization even during this very life. And that is such an important thing. Most people don't know what it is till you start coming into satsang, till you start understanding that you are not this body, but you are a soul in transit, going through a long journey over many lifetimes. So human body is a rare blessing, a rare blessing. Bad bhagi manav tan pava. If we have gotten this body, we should aspire for only one thing, which is to get liberated from the cycle of life and death, to not worry about coming into this cycle again and again, to be born as a lizard or a rat or a cat or an insect or a plant. Very rarely we become humans, and once we, even in a human embodiment, there is so much pain. It's duality. There is some joy, of course, but after every day there is the night. So prosperity and adversity continue to alternate till we depart. And then you also have Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Dosh Anudarshanam, which means birth, Janma, Mrityu, death, Jara, old age, Vyadhi, disease. All these are painful. All these, and then you have mental disease and physical disease, sometimes disease of the body, sometimes disease of the mind. All these hospitals are full of patients. If you go anywhere, sometimes you see. So always we should know what our goal is. Instead of running after thousands of things, have one goal, which is to connect with God, get self realized. There is nothing else worth aspiring for in this transient world. इस धरती पर और कुछ भी प्राप्त करने योग्य नहीं है. नाम, धाम, धन, दौलत, ये सब ठीक है, संसार में रहने के लिए चाहिए, लेकिन अगर इसी में फंस गए और अपना मुख्य कार्य को नहीं पकड़ा, तो सब कुछ शून्य हो जाता है. फिर से जन्म लेना पड़ता है, फिर से ये चक्र से चलना जाना पड़ता है. सो इफ यू मिस दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड यू don't get it, then again and again we will continue to go up and down. Now, this is a progressive movement. If we are making progress, that is a good thing if you come back in a higher state. But it's a very bad thing if we get demoted. Everybody likes a promotion, nobody likes a demotion, you know. So that is what people who are sinful, who have done, who do wrong things, who hurt others, who do wrong actions, they don't know that the impact of it is so painful, because every action has to be accounted for, even in this life, you know, what to speak of the other one. So in this transient world, always say, I want to get liberated. Mukti chahiye, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Otherwise, if the world is seeming very intoxicating to you, very interesting to you, then that's okay. After many births, you will become ready again. Nature is very patient. It waits for everybody. Every last soul will connect to God eventually. Now the question is, will it be in this very life, or will it be 100 lives from now, or 1,000,000 lives from now? Nobody knows, because the cycle keeps on going. Now, very rarely do you have the desire, first of all, having a human birth, then the desire to come into satsang. Out of billions of people, very few are connected to this journey. Otherwise, the sense pleasures, intoxications, drinking, addictions, everything is prevalent, and people get sucked into it like a vacuum cleaner, whether they like it or not, because it seems pleasing to the senses. After that, it gives you pain. We all know it. So therefore, Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that this is initially satsang. If you get addicted to satsang, that's the best addiction you can get. Always stay addicted to satsang only, because through sats, what is sat? Sat means truth, sang means association. So when there is this association of truth, the energy becomes pure, we start evolving, and we start cleaning up the inside that we are not seeing from the outside. So if your hunger and thirst for the fullness of the self, you will automatically draw to yourself all that is good and auspicious to your personality. See how beautiful this is. If you are sincere, which means you are hungry and thirsty for self realization, you want the fullness of the self, then nature bends over backwards to give you what you need and provides you what you are lacking. So this is how the divine plan works, but you have to be sincere. You cannot fake it. You cannot just like both things. It's like putting your feet on two separate boats at the same time. Your legs will break, right? So this is what we are saying. Put yourself in God's boat, and the worldly boat will also, all the things of the world will come to you automatically. The problem is when we are sitting in the world half, and the other way we also think of God, but we are never making up our mind. So no wonder we are in pain. So God says, if you are sincere, then yogakshemam vahamyaham, I will personally cater for your needs and provide for you. What more do we need? This is God's assurance in the Bhagavad Gita. Then a life lit up with the light of wisdom is never a selfish life. Never. So divine wisdom is higher than intelligence. बुद्धि से अधिक क्या है? आपका प्रज्ञा. प्रज्ञा को बोलते हैं आत्मज्ञान. जब वो ज्ञान आ जाता है तो संसारी ज्ञान की कोई सत्ता नहीं रहती. When that knowledge of the self is dawned, when it comes up, then everything settles down and the self is radiant. जैसे अंधेरे कितने ही तारे हों, लाखों तारे और एक चंद्रमा, जैसे ही सूर्य की पहली किरण आती है सब दिखना बंद हो जाता है. All the stars, all the moon is gone by one ray of the sun, and that ray is the spiritual ray, the ray of wisdom, and that is never a selfish life. उस जीवन में कभी भी क्या नहीं है? सेल्फिशनेस नहीं है. सेल्फिशनेस मतलब स्वार्थ भाव नहीं है कि मुझे मिल जाए, उसको नहीं मिले, इसका अच्छा हो जाए, उसका बुरा हो जाए. जो ऐसे सोचते हैं वो अपने ही पांव पे कुल्हाड़ी मारते हैं. पीपल हु थिंक लाइक दैट आई बेनिफिट, ही शुडंट बेनिफिट, लेट ही इज माय फ्रेंड, ही इज माय एनिमी. सो पीपल हु बिहेव लाइक दैट आर कॉल्ड वर्ल्डली पीपल, नॉट स्पिरिचुअल पीपल. जो स्पिरिचुअल हैं, जो धर्म से जुड़े हैं, वो सबका भला चाहते हैं. They want good for everybody. अपने दुश्मनों का भी, जो उनसे मित्रता नहीं रखते हैं, जो उनसे वैर भाव रखते हैं, उनका भी वो बुरा नहीं चाहते हैं. They don't even think bad of their enemies. That's why हमारा जो ये सर्वधर्म प्रार्थना है, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे संतु निरामया, सब सुखी रहें. May all be happy, may all be disease free, may no one suffer. It doesn't say, may I be happy, may I be disease free. All, in all, you are also part of all. That is how Sanatan Dharma teaches us to share with everybody. सबसे बांट के अपना जीवन न्यौछावर करो, अपने जीवन को एक सुगंधित पुष्प की तरह बना लो. Wherever you go, your fragrance should radiate everywhere. तो जब ऐसा होता है तो आपके अंदर मन चित्त प्रसन्न रहता है. योर माइंड, योर बॉडी, योर सेंसेस, एवरीथिंग इज इन हार्मनी. व्हाई? बिकॉज सिंपली यू आर लीडिंग अ प्योर लाइफ. When you lead a pure life, there is no stress. जब आप एक अच्छा सादा और आदर्श जीवन जीते हो तब आपको तनाव नहीं रहता है. तनाव कब आता है? When do you get stress? When there is too much pressure, when we put too much, I have to do this, I have to do that. जब सब कुछ भगवान कर रहे हैं, when God is doing everything, then our job becomes much easier. All we have to do is our duty. अपना कर्म करते रहो, फल भगवान के हाथ में छोड़ो. So what glorious, it is like a stream that serves countless souls as it flows on to the ocean of the divine self. तो जब आपके अंदर भक्ति भाव आ जाएगा, भगवान की सेवा का भाव आ जाएगा और अपने अंदर अपना स्वार्थ का भाव खत्म हो जाएगा, तो क्या होगा? कई काउंटलेस मतलब असंख्य आत्माएं आपसे कल्याण को प्राप्त होंगी. उनका मंगल होगा, कल्याण होगा. जो नास्तिक हैं आस्तिक धीरे धीरे आस्तिक बन जाएंगे. एक भी इंसान को आप इस मार्ग पे ले आओ, even one soul if you can bring on this path, you have done a beautiful service of God. Beautiful service of God. So because then that soul who feels that joy and that connection is beyond any explanation, because their life changes, their life transforms. But it is up to the soul to come or not to come. I'm so happy to see Jenna Carter. Yafa ji brought her here and she is now regularly attending the satsang. So welcome, and I hope you continue to be part of the satsang family. I hope you're finding benefit in this satsang. But if the souls don't want to do, then they are simply not ready for it. Which means I always tell people, I always tell everybody that you are not here by chance. आप ऐसे ही यहाँ पर नहीं आ गए. No matter what your background, no matter what your education, no matter what your financial status, if you are here, it means you are a yogi. You have done this in your past life. You have all done this tapasya in your past life for you to be coming to this satsang, this level satsang. Otherwise, you will go jump here, there, do a little bit of YouTube, little bit books here, there, but you will not make progress. That is why this Guru Shishya Parampara is so deep. To come to a Guru means one who removes light, like our Guru here. In the back you see the TV and the picture also. Every breath I take is a gratitude to my Guru. If he wasn't there, I don't know where I would be. I would probably be a very worldly person, lost in the meshes of the world process only. Now not only did I benefit, all of us are benefiting, isn't it? One rising tide lifts up all the waves. So don't ever say, I am helpless, I am poor, I don't know, what should I do? I am a sinner, I have done this, I have done that. Is there hope for me? There is hope for everybody. If we are here in this satsang, that itself is a blessing of God, and a great blessing of God. Now, to sustain it, that blessing you have to do on yourself. God has done his part. Now you have to do your part. Just listening is not enough. Then changing it slowly. That is the hard part. Otherwise, theory seems so good. But when the satsang is over, we revert back like the dog's tail that is always curled up. You straighten it, it curls up again. So that's what we have to do. Thank you, Jenna, for your lovely comment. We are very pleased that you are here too. And thank you to Radha ji or Yafa ji, however you call her. I don't know, we call her Radha. Radha is a beloved of Lord Krishna. So with great blessings one comes. We don't stress upon quantity. I don't really care whether there are 5 or 7 people, but then eventually this goes out to hundreds of people, but few souls benefit, just like everything in life. So it is about those few souls. And Shankarji, we did say before you joined in, I hope your surgery went well. We were praying, so many of you are going through difficult times right now. Yogini ji also, her husband Brandon is quite sick with COVID and everything. So all of you, like I said in my post today, even a little bit of sadhana during a difficult time, and Priya ji also, our condolence for Sita, the beautiful cat that she just lost. These are souls. Don't look at them as a cat or a human or a body. They're all God's children. We are all God's children. We come in different shapes and forms. So that is why ahimsa paramo dharma. That is why we say in Sanatana Dharma that ahimsa, meaning non-violence, is the first and the highest dharma. Why? Because we don't like to get hurt. We don't like somebody beating us. So we should not hurt others in, not only in action, in by becoming a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. That is, ideally it is good to be a vegetarian, but it's not just that. It's also words. You may be a vegetarian, but you may be having a poisonous tongue. Every time you speak, you spit out venom. What good is your vegetarianism then? Being very proud. Look, I don't kill animals, but you are killing people with your words. They're horrible. So that is what we have to understand. Then, so actions, words, and then third is the thought also. If our thoughts are not pure, if the thoughts are full of anger, jealousy, hatred, then that's the third level we should control. First, physically hurting somebody, that we should control. Killing and all that, avoid that. Second of all, avoid speaking harshly to others. Third is avoid bad thoughts. That is the way to become pure. So all of you stay blessed during adversity. When you are going through a difficult time, and when you sometimes doubt, is God really there? Is he even watching? Why am I suffering so much? Don't we all say that sometimes? But that is how God, you are graduating, you're moving on to the next grade. Every time, did you ever pass a class without giving a test, without passing that grade? You all had to do it, even in this life. So God is also trying to make sure that those sincere souls only reach him, not the fake ones. Not the ones who are just saying something, doing something else. And so don't look at people who are successful financially. That doesn't mean anything. The body, when it goes, everything gets left here only. Not even a broken needle will go. So who will go? Your good deeds, your consciousness, your satsang, how much you have done, feeding the homeless, making a difference in somebody's life. That will go. Therefore, increase those actions. This is what Swamiji is saying. A life lit up with the light of wisdom is never selfish, and then that life then serves many souls, and they are all flowing towards the ocean of the divine self. तो कई आत्माओं का कल्याण होता है. So many people benefit, because generally this thing is very rare these days. It's sad to see that even spirituality has become like a business only. You put so much money, you do this, you do that. Nobody is really working towards actual knowledge. Used to be not for money, not for name, not for fame, but to build characters, shape destinies, give the kids sanskaras. That's what the Gurukul system used to be. Gurukul. Guru means teacher, Kul meant family. So whoever came under the Guru, they all became a family, and these young kids were taught till high school. They stayed under the Guru. They would cut the firewood, they would cook, they would go, they would do everything. And then they would, after graduating, they would do Guru Dakshina. Dakshina means like whatever the Guru could ask for, whatever. So because they knew that a true Guru is never selfish. He'll never want things just for himself. He'll always want it for the real ones. I mean, these days, of course, so many people treat it like a business. We are not talking about those kind of people. So What glorious summits of beauty hide within the depths of your very being. What glorious summits. मतलब जब आप हिमालय को देखते हो उसके पास खड़े होके, looking at a picture of Himalaya on the map versus physically being there. हाँ, एक मैप पे चित्र देखते हो हिमालय का, एक आप वास्तव में पहुंचते हो. तो when you are really there, that experience, those clothes you are wearing, that air you are smelling, that feeling you are going through, you can never capture it on a YouTube video. You cannot capture it on the map or by reading a book. You physically have to be there, and once you are there, then when you meditate on it, now you have all the insights. You will be much better with it. So much in the same way, whenever we study these things, take these words, convert them into your practical experience, bring them into your own life. That is what Guruji is saying, Swamiji is saying. So what I have, be like a wondrous flowers that is blooming in the gardens of your heart. Once you find that peace within you, that peace even billionaires don't have, let me tell you. You think money is the roots, money will solve many problems? Surely. I'm not, one way or the other, money can be a root to all the evil, and money can also do a lot of good. If we are doing charity, serving hospitals, building, giving employment to people, doing ethical things, nice things, good things, changing the environment, that money becomes spiritual money, very powerful, very good. But if the same money is used for idle sense pleasures, just buying expensive cars all the time, you have one or two already, now you are buying more and more, bigger, more and more houses, and so many things are sitting idle, that's fine, that's your choice. But Sanatana Dharma says that how many houses can you sleep in at one time? Even in your house, how many rooms can you sleep in one time? All you need is one room and a 6-foot bed, isn't it? But everything else you have already desires. It's like putting ghee on fire. They will never end. Trishna na jirna vayameva jirna. Desires will never end. You will end. Is that right? Because we all are transient. We are made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. मिट्टी के बने हैं, मिट्टी में ही मिलना है. तो काहे इतना घमंड करना, काहे इस बात का कि मैं ये हूं, तुम वो है, उसका ये है. कुछ फायदा नहीं. All this is, yes, you work hard, you be successful, but then you do something to earn this real wealth, which is your Atmagyan. Without that knowledge, no other knowledge will come to your help. So when you find that, then you are finding peace within yourself. And there is a lot of treasure buried deep within your soul. Within your soul, once you find your soul, then no tirth yatra is required, no going to pilgrimages. You circulate around your guru, all the pilgrimages are already included when you do that. So when you, and that is apni atma mein, once, much in the same way, when you go within, it is higher than going through all the Tirath Yatras, this, that. They are not bad. It's good to do it if you want to go, if you get the opportunity to go to make you pure, you go do that. But don't do it thinking that you will be highly sanctified and now you will go to heaven or be enlightened. It doesn't work like that. So you still have to do more and more effort and going within. Deho devalaya prokto. Deho devalaya prokto, meaning your body is what? Your body is like a devalaya. It's like a temple. Jivo devo sadashiva. The jiva within you. What is the jiva? It is that God particle that is making you talk, walk, act, move, eat, smell, do everything. Every thought, every action you are doing. How do you think it's happening? It's happening through that energy that is invisible. Science has not yet able to catch it. It's invisible, meaning like when we do an x-ray, we will not find it inside. It's a subtle, like you don't see virus, you don't see nano, you don't see microbes. They are smaller than our eyes can capture. In the same way, Kundalini Shakti, Prana, these nadis, channels, all these things are happening in another world within you. All we can see are arteries, veins, lungs, heart, kidney, this, that, whatever we can see. But this is not that, much deeper than that. Kahin adhik. So there are all these treasures of joy, happiness, ecstasy, and bliss. That bliss is so much greater than all the drugs combined. There is this story, before we get into Yoga Vashistha, I will tell you. Many of you may have heard of Ramdas. um, he's a kirtan singer now, and he goes to uh, around the world now. He's doing a lot of Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, not ISKCON. He's not ISKCON related, which is a very good thing according to my view, because we believe in every god, every uh, according to your concept, whatever you want it to be. So he was a Harvard professor. So he got into, at that time, Woodstock days. Many of you are young, so you may not know, but Priyaji and some other people may know when that Woodstock stuff started to happen. So this Harvard professor, at that time, people were trying to do a lot of these drugs, LSD and all that. So he was practicing that, and he was started enjoying it. He was hallucinating. He saw all these experiences, and then he says, "Oh, wow, these people in India are fairly stupid, it looks like, because I am doing this drug is so powerful that it's giving me like that high, that supreme high. Why do I have to go through years of this and years of that, and maybe in this life, maybe in that life? What are these gurus talking about? Maybe they don't know much." So with that thought, and he started taking on some of those LSDs and all that. With that, he wanted to go to India to boast, basically to boast, to tell people that, look, you guys are so backward, you don't know, and here we are so advanced. And he was well educated Harvard professor, that we have all this. So he wanted to prove out to all these people that, look, you guys are doing all this, all you have to do is pop a few pills and you will be done. So now with that thought, he went to an ashram in Nainital in India. I've been to Nainital, but I've not been to this ashram yet. So I will go next time. When I go, I'll go. So his name is Neem Karoli Baba. Neem Karoli Baba. He's considered a avatar of Hanuman. If anybody has heard of Neem Karoli Baba, you can text me yes or no. But he actually, Priyaji has to say yes, because her guru came from that. so um, so that's what really happened. And I agree, Jana ji, you are saying schooling. To me, schooling is not the way you look at education. You look at education by a person's behavior, how he talks, what he does. There are plenty of educated idiots also. So yeah, Yogini ji has heard of Neem Karori Baba. So he went there to basically show him that, whatever he is doing. So he sat there once, like everybody else, with the devotees. Ramdas is also sitting. So Neem Karori Baba asked him, what is that? He had that bottle in his hand, and he says, show me what you have. Because he knew what he is trying to do, talk about his little medications, this, that. So he said, how many of these medicines you have? He was traveling, so he had the bottle. Maybe there were 30-40 pills, and all you do is you take one or maximum two and even that is way beyond anybody else's comprehension. It kind of, you tend to kind of start exploding. You can instantly die if you take a lot more than that, as people are going through these days with fentanyl and everything, you know. So that is what he was doing. Neem Karori Baba said, give me this, and he gave him the bottle. No talking, huh? Just give me this. And he took the bottle and he popped all the pills combined in front of people. They were like it, like we are doing the satsang. Imagine me doing it in front of all people who were physically here. You are not even physically here, but he did it. People who were there with all the devotees in presence, he just swallowed it, gulped it down, and he kept doing his satsang, and talking and answering questions to people, this, that. And this Ramdas guy, Ramdas is later, his or American name, I forget what it was, some other name. So later he became Ramdas. So when he did that, he couldn't believe that he is sitting there talking in his full senses without any change. And the next day passed, 2 whole days, nothing happened. And then the third day, Neem Karori Baba called him. He says, listen, I know what you were trying to do. Listen, don't waste your life with these stupid medicines. They are not going to help you. You'll just waste your life. You know, that had such a profound effect on him, with him just saying that, here, this big miracle from this simple saint. All he did was, he was not very, I don't know how educated Neem Karori Baba was, and it's not even important, because there are a lot of saints in India who don't even know how to sign or write their names. So he was one of them, maybe. And then he basically just said, listen, you um, now tears started flowing through his eyes. He didn't know what else to do. So he basically um, left everything, left his Harvard professorship and this and that, because all these are egos, all these are titles. I'm a doctor, I'm this, I'm that, and call me like this. It's okay at a practical level, but internally, if it's making you egotistical, it's making you proud, all that is nothing. So it all shed down. He had a watershed moment, tears in his eyes, and he became humble. And then Neem Karori Baba said, okay, now you go and just chant Rama's name, do it. And his whole life changed. Even today he is doing that, and he's always traveling to many countries. He's very well respected, where in all the traditional Indian temples also he has gone and done Hanuman Chalisa and Rama bhajans and everything. He has his little harmonium and he goes everywhere. So that is what. And he has written some books. I have not read them yet, but some of you may want to, because a lot of times we think the answer is in these things. Um so uh, so whatever the thing is. So anyway, Priyaji, you are saying that may or may not be. Whatever I have heard is what I have shared. Many people I have heard from, even some sages and saints, talking about this, but nevertheless he was a very, very famous saint with siddhis. Even today people go there to Neem Karori Baba's ashram, and even Babaji stayed there in the ashram for a while, and that's how he changed his lifestyle, through Neem Karori Baba. But whatever the fact is, in the end, whoever took it, the point remains that there are many siddhis also. It's not that siddhis don't exist, they do exist, and some people do have them. Satya Sai Baba and so many people did miracles. Of course, my guru Swami JyotirmayAnanda ji and Shivananda ji and all these people say those things are not needed, like Priya ji is talking about. We don't need any miracles to happen. You don't need to be flying high, you don't need to be doing all that stuff. That is not enlightenment. Enlightenment means you are who you are, but internally you know you are in a different plane. You no longer are going to be in this worldly plane. You are no longer going to be born again. Those are the real, that's the real progress, real sadhana. So we got diverted a little bit, but I thought it was a good conversation for all of you to enjoy, and to tell you what the real essence of real sadhana is. Hari Om Tat Sat. So with this, let's do our kirtan, and then we will get into Yoga Vashistha that we regularly do. Hari Om, Hari Om. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश श्री गणेश रक्ष मां शरवण भव पाहि मां कार्तिकेय रक्ष मां जय सरस्वती पाहि मां श्री सरस्वती रक्ष मां जय गुरु शिव गुरु हरि गुरु राम जगत गुरु परम गुरु सद्गुरु श्याम ओम आदि गुरु अद्वैत गुरु आनंद गुरु ओम चिद गुरु चिद घन गुरु चिन्मय गुरु ओम जगत गुरु ओम गुरु सच्चिदानंदा शंकराचार्य शिवानंद ज्योतिर्मयानंद ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिव 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 शिवाय नमः ओम हर 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 नमः शिवाय ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते रामचंद्राय हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे आंजनेय 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 पाहि मां हनुमंता 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 रक्ष मां ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति पाहि मां ब्रह्मा शक्ति विष्णु शक्ति शिव शक्ति रक्ष मां आदि शक्ति महाशक्ति पराशक्ति पाहि मां इच्छा शक्ति क्रिया शक्ति ज्ञान शक्ति रक्ष मां गंगा रानी पाहि मां भागीरथी रक्ष मां हरि ओम हरि हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि हरि ओम ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति 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 ओम Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, Priyaji, for sharing. I'll read your comments later. There are too many. So I am also interested in knowing more about Neem Karori Baba. And it doesn't matter. All these sages and saints are the same. If they are really self-realized masters, they come in all shapes and sizes. They can be kings or they can be paupers. They can be rich or they can be poor. They can be very regally dressed or they can be totally sitting in a cave without any clothes. So because they are beyond this world, so we cannot bind them into any kind of expectation that this is what a self-realized person should look like Babaji. This I had heard, again I don't know, I have not read Babaji's biography yet, but I had heard somewhere that when he was young, he used to get angry very quickly. So Neem Karori Baba told him to have Mona, to stop talking, and he actually literally took it, and all his life he was Mona. After that, he never talked. He became silent till the very end. So this is true. The Guru Shishya tradition that these masters followed Most of you can't even dream it. Forget about reading and thinking. We should read books like Marpa and Milarepa. That was a Tibetan saint who did it. And then there are many such examples in Sanatana Dharma also, sages and saints, the Guru Shishya Parampara. But only if you have a certain level of purity will you even be pulled towards that. Otherwise, you will not read it. You will simply criticize and move on, because you are not at that level yet to reach to that stage. Each person has to go through certain stages in life. So therefore, these gurus, these teachers, they are they are so divine. And what can we say? I mean, it's right in front of us, and we are so blessed to have a master like that. Through him, you are getting all this wisdom, all this knowledge, and at 92, he continues to serve the world every single day. So, we were getting on to Yog Vashisht. We are on section number 209, Nirvana Prakarana. Nirvana Prakarana meaning mukti, liberation. Everything we do and we talk about is about mukti, liberation, because all this sansari stuff is going to be here only. These worldly things, they cannot give you company when we depart. They can only give you some comforts right now. So it's very important that we understand what is the purpose of our life. So section 209 says contradictions related to karma reconciled. Remember, we are discussing the story of king. Okay, now no more discussions about all that stuff. We are going into a serious topic of Yoga Vashisht. So let me remind you all what we had discussed last week. It was about the questions and answers between King Pragyapati and the sage Vashishth Muni. All these questions Pragyapati had asked when Vashishth Muni happened to be in his kingdom. Difficult questions, very deep questions, and one by one Vashishth Muni was answering, which we discussed last week, and we are continuing that now. Contradictions related to karma reconciled. Sage Vasistha said, "You have asked what will happen to a person when his friends has offered prayers for his upliftment, while his enemy has offered prayers for his downfall." So this is the question, isn't it? One person says, may he live long. The other person says, may he not succeed, may he die quickly. So, and both have done so in a sacred place that is said to confer upon the devotees whatever they desire. So there are many holy places, sacred places, and both of them went to that place and asked for that boon. One says, may he die, one says, may he live. O king, this was one of the questions, wasn't it? One of the questions that the king asked, who? Vashishth Muni. So he says, O king, the prayers offered in a sacred place bring their results in an infallible manner. Infallible, the prayers offered, so that will generally it is granted. This is in accordance with the will of the creator, meaning God wills it, so it happens. The power of a sacred place nullifies the sinful karma of the devotee, either partially or completely. So when we, this is why they say, when we go to pilgrimage centers, we do Ganga Snan and all that, we do benefit. But then to just get stuck with that, and that concept is not proper. Then we have to never do that again. So if we have committed some sin and we are repentant, then in reality we will be forgiven if we don't repeat it. It's not like you do it today, in the evening you ask for forgiveness, tomorrow morning you do it, again ask for forgiveness. It doesn't work like that. It has to be done for good, given up for good. So the power of a sacred place, that then you will benefit. If the devotee, however, is endowed with virtue and vice in equal proportion, he must experience the fruits of both through two different embodiments, a good karma and a bad karma. So then, depending on that intensity of the karma, you will get a good fruit, good tasting fruit, and a bad tasting fruit at different types and through different embodiments. Based on the karma of the individual, there arises a dream-like experience at the time of death. So when in actuality this world is like an illusion, that's what even quantum physics tells you, right? All these particles, all the things you are seeing are not really there in that form. जो कुछ भी आपको प्रतीत होता है, दिखता है, ये इसका वास्तविक स्वरूप नहीं है. So ऐसे ही जब हमारा मृत्यु होता है तो हमें जैसे आपको स्वप्न आता है, ऐसे ही मृत्यु में भी ये स्वप्न ही चल रहा है, थोड़ा लंबा स्वप्न हो जाता है, the person who has died. So there arises a dream like experience. The departing soul feels that I am dead, है ना? You are basically just seeing your body, but nothing happens to you. You are still you. Why? Because your mind, intellect, ego, senses, none of them have died. They have gone with you. Very deep. Huh? Understand this, what I am saying. Your body was an instrument. Your bulb fuses at home, right? Your bulb, what do? You go to Home Depot or Walmart or whatever, get another bulb, you put it in, turn it on, light is on. So think of your body like a bulb. So when you evaporate, when you are gone, basically it's the bulb that has broken. Nothing has happened to the electricity inside. Your refrigerator is working, your microwave is working, everything is working. So all you need to do is get another bulb and put it there, and that will also work. This is how in your dream state you are pulled into a different embodiment, but to you it's like a dream experience. So you see, that's what it is. The departing soul, you will feel that I am dead and my relatives are still alive. You say, why? What's wrong with you? Why are you crying? I'm fine. He's laughing and actually he's pain free. Whatever diseases we have, whatever problems we have, different kind of mental diseases, physical diseases, endless, isn't it? So many. Cancer, this or this, the TB or COVID, or so many problems we have. But then what basically we are saying is that nothing has happened to that soul. Only his body has become inert. So he says, my relatives are still alive. They are weeping for me. He sees and he says, why are you weeping? I am alive. He doesn't understand. So the experience of his relatives are likewise of the nature of a dream. The relatives are grieving or weeping or praying for the soul or whatever. They feel they have taken the dead body to the cremation ground and then they cremate the body. So it is all like that, he says. The experiences of an individual and those of his relatives are of the nature of projections of the mind. Projections of your mind. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandho mokshayoha. Mind is the cause of all your bondage and the cause of your release. Bandhanay vishayasaktam muktaye nirvishayam smaret. Meaning, when you are thinking of sense pleasures, of objects, of desires, of people that you are attached to, you are bandhan, captured by that brain. And when you stop thinking of these sense pleasures or objects or things you have given importance to, they don't mean anything. Let's use a simple example. You love your house so much you do, isn't it? When you come home, you vacation, you do this, but your home is your palace. You like it. आपको अपना घर उससे बड़ा कोई अच्छा चीज नहीं है. आपको बहुत, आपका घर स्वर्ग है. तो you like it. Now you finally sell your house, you move somewhere else. So that house now doesn't matter anymore, isn't it? वो घर खत्म हो गया. अब उस घर से क्या कुछ लेना देना नहीं. Now we have nothing to do with that house. When even if that house burns down, whatever happens to it, you are comfortable in your new house. You don't even know, you don't catch up with what's going on. Much in the same way, the departed soul moves on, leaves that body behind, and he is experiencing uh, the projections. Therefore, when virtuous karma predominates, the departed soul feels as if he has been blessed by the prayers of others. Actually, what is happening is his own karma. जैसा कर्म करेगा वैसा फल देगा भगवान, ये है गीता का ज्ञान. So this is the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, that you reap what you sow. If you sow thorns, then thorns will come, and if you have sown some mangoes, mangoes will come. So both will come at different times based on your karma. So when some good karma is coming up, you will be very feeling very good in your departed soul, and you will think, oh, people are praying for me, etc. You have a good experience. So the sage Vashistha Muni tells the king, he says, "O king, this world is a projection of Brahma's mind." What is it? A projection of Brahma's mind. Just like in your projection, what do? You create things, don't you? Dreams, just like Brahmaji. So you create dreams, and Brahmaji also creates dreams. Your dreams, you know what they are. Sometimes you don't know, you forget. Brahmaji is also dreaming. He creates the dreams. There is nothing that cannot become a reality or an unreality in this dream-like world of Brahma. Brahma, not Brahman. Brahman is the super conscious one God, eternal, indivisible. This is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, creator, sustainer, and destroyer. Brahmaji creates, Vishnuji sustains, and Shiva destroys. So, in a dream city, in one consciousness of an individual assumes millions of names and forms. So, in the same manner, it is one consciousness that has assumed numerous forms in this waking world. In reality, this world is nothing but Brahman, the Absolute. That is why we say God is in everybody, He is in everything, He is in inert objects as well as movable objects. He is in the stones and the mountains and the rivers and the brooks. He is also in the ant and the plant and you and I. Same God. That's why we call it the God particle, Brahman. So, let's move on to section 210. Brahman becomes all through the power of illusion. Illusion. So, what is illusion? Illusion is something that appears real, but it is not. It is simply a dream. That is why when you look at a mirage, it feels like water. It looks like water. When you reach there, no water, nothing is there. That is why you call it, in Hindi we say Mrig Trishna, like a deer who's looking for water. He thinks there is water here, he runs there, here, nowhere he finds water. Much in the same way, we as humans who are not aware of our Atma and where we should be looking, we also are running like these musk deers. Maybe it's in this house, maybe it's in this new wife, maybe it's in this child, maybe it's here, maybe it's there. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Nothing can give you total satisfaction and reality in this dream world, because it's a dream and ultimately it's all transient. So all these desires are endless, they will continue, and then you wake up and you see nothing. So here, this is what we are studying, that Brahman becomes all. So that same Brahman he is in a atom. When we say God is in every atom, that means he is in you and me, but he's also in that ant, he's also in that rock, he's everywhere. Sri Vashistha continued to the king, because these are all the questions the king is asking, isn't it? Ask, So he's answering one by one, just like Arjuna is asking all these questions in Bhagavad Gita, and Lord is answering. Why do you think they ask these questions? For you and me, so we can understand it. Just these are not historical events. If you just think of it as history, you don't benefit. You benefit when you learn something from it and you apply it in your life. Only then we benefit. So Vashistha, Sri Vashistha continued. He says, O king, if a mediator were to mediate with the will, may I become the deity of the moon, he will become that deity. So whatever you sincerely want can happen. Thousands of people who are meditating, so they can, whatever in your meditation you do become, you get so deep into that meditation that you become the object of your meditation. So each devotee, depending on your practice, आपकी साधना कितनी ऊंची है, कितना तपस्या आप करते हैं, and yet the sky is not overcast. There is, this is called, there are three kinds of spaces. One is Bhutakash, one is Chittakash, the third one is Chidakash. So that means Bhutakash means this world, the space of the world. So we are here. If we want to go to India, it's far away. We have to take a flight. We can't easily get there by our car. So we have to book a ticket and all that. Then there are continents, rivers, all this world. So whatever space you see in the physical plane or even the moon, all this is called Bhutakash, Mars, planets. All this is physical space. Then there is the Chittakash. This is the space inside of you. This space is millions of times bigger than Bhutakash, physical space. Why? Because in your space there is endless expansion. Endless. Why? Think of your dream. When you dream, how much space you create. You can be walking in the mountains and all that space is you. You may have a small room where you are sleeping, one bedroom apartment, but your dream is that you are in the Himalayas or you are in the Alps and the big river is flowing. So think of that space. It is happening, isn't it? There is a dream, there is an object, there is the color, there is the sound, there is the experience of good and bad. Everything is there. So that is called Bhuta Chittakash. Chittakash. So Bhutakash is physical, Chittakash is your four elements: senses, mind, intellect, ego, through which who is doing this? Your consciousness is generating that space. That is called Chittakash. And the third and final space is called Chidakash. That is called the space of the going inside the consciousness, which is all pervading everywhere. That is even beyond what we think and what we dream in our body. That is the different. So this is how the sage is explaining to the king that in the story of Leela, the soul of King Padma discovered a world within the corner of a room. We will study this again when we restart Yoga Vashisht. This is the story of Yoga Vashisht. So that is what it is. And then the king died, but the queen didn't want him to depart. So she says, just leave his soul here. And Goddess Saraswati did, which we will not go into the story now. But here is what the sage is explaining to King Pragyapati, that did not contradict the world that was already there. Although King Padma's soul resided within that room, inside that room of the palace, he created a whole different world system while the queen was in the room physically. So it didn't contradict this current room, the current world, the current structure. The same way, enlightened sages don't contradict the realities of the world. You will still get old, they still get white hair, they still feel hungry, they still may get upset, and they may do things, but internally they are like in a different world. They are merged into the ocean, and only the prarabdha karma functions. Prarabdha karma meaning, whatever, think of a fan that is currently operating and it is going full speed. So you don't even know how many wings it has. Some have 3, some have 5. Once it's operating, you can tell, right? You don't know till it stops. So much like that, these sages and saints, once they get enlightened, it's like somebody turned off the switch. Now what is happening? The fan is still moving, isn't it? Moving, but slowing down with every move, slowly. And then when the last revolution it does, it totally stops. Then the body departs of the sage. Till then, he is here. He is going through his karma, he's writing the Bhagavad Gita, he's doing the discourses, he's sharing with people, all that. But he cannot create any more karmas. That is one of the point of being enlightened, being self-realized. No more birth and death, no more karmas. They become like um, gods. They become god. To know Brahman is to become Brahman. So they can take a physical form anytime they want to, or not. It's up to them. It's like they have the master key, master password. They have controlled the whole universe, just like God himself. They become agents of God, and when they pass away, they merge back into that same God, and therefore they become more powerful. A guru becomes more powerful after he passes away. If he is a true guru, if he is a realized saint, then you should never ever worry about your progress. Because, and then sometimes he will make sure, the guru will make sure that his disciples are not led astray. If they were in their early stages or not yet realized, he will connect them to the right source, to the right guru, to the right channel where he is feeling satisfied. Of course, he is not going to come down and give you that knowledge. So he is going to connect to that energy through some other radiant saint who is following that same process that guru knows is authentic and proper. Then those souls will come into the guru's fold. So we should never grieve for the guru, never grieve. Always pray for the enlightenment, for your own enlightenment, for the guru's blessings, and so on. So this is the story of Leela, he says. In the same way, numerous souls may experience numerous worlds as a result of their sankalpas, mental will, and yet these worlds do not interfere with each other. Suppose there are, like when we go to camps or vacations, then so many times there are 10 people, 8 people sleeping in one room, or in shared apartments or whatever. So suppose there are 10 people sleeping in one room. Now each one will have a completely different dream with all the space needed for their dream. You don't say, this is a very cramped room, give me more space, I need more space for my dreams, I think very big. But in practical world, you will need more space. Oh, this is very tight, this is not right, and all that. But this is how we measure space. It's all illusory. So virtuous acts, when you do virtuous acts, what are virtuous acts? Like when you do charity, you do an act of kindness, you help somebody in some ways, then that are performed in this world give rise to their different fruits in the astral plane. That is why they say, don't commit sins, don't hurt people, don't do wrong things, be ethical, be clean, purify. That is why all these things are being told to us, taught to us, isn't it? So these fruits are nothing but illusory modifications of consciousness brought about by the sankalpas of the mind. So whatever you have thought, I want this, I want this, I want this, and with that desire you have performed that action, the devas have to give you that. You have earned it, you have put in the effort. Just like in this world you put in the effort, you get the object of your desire. Much in the same way, the astral plane also creates that environment for you where you get it. वो मिलता ही है. It is consciousness that assumes the form of hellish worlds or heavenly worlds according to one's sinful or virtuous karmas. So what is it? It is not like your frequency. It's like tuning a radio. Some like rock and roll, some like classical music, some like something else. So it's basically whatever your taste is, you will resonate at that frequency. Does that make sense? What we are trying to say is, whatever karma you have done, according to that karma you are creating your heaven or hell. So it is consciousness or Brahman that becomes all that is experienced in the dream of multiplicity. So when you create multiplicity, then all that is created through your consciousness. What is that consciousness? In you is Brahman, that we can't see, but through that you can't see, you can feel, you can touch, you can smell, you can taste, you can dream, you can walk, talk, criticize, whatever, ego, all these things are being reflected through that consciousness. Suppose there is no consciousness, what would your ego do? We'll be called departed souls. That's all. So the king asked, O sage, in the beginning there was nothing but consciousness, which is formless. True, we all know consciousness has no form. So how did then consciousness imagine a body in itself? Further, how can consciousness express itself without the body? Just as a wall reveals the luminosity of a lamp, so too the body reveals the luminosity of consciousness. Body and consciousness seem to be interdependent like wall and lamp. So he's asking, how can then all these things be created through the consciousness? In other words, he's trying to find out how powerful is this consciousness. So then Sri Vashistha replied, according to the enlightened sages, the idea that consciousness depends upon the body is as ridiculous as the statement, the stones are dancing in the air. Can stones dance in the air by themselves? No. You need somebody to pick them up and make them dance. That can be done. But will the stones by themselves dance? They cannot. They are inert. So the body then is nothing but Brahman. Brahman meaning the all-pervading consciousness, God, Ishwar, whatever name you give it. Like the dream body, the waking body is an illusory modification of consciousness. So, just like in your dream, you smell, you taste, you touch, you feel, you see everything, you see colors, and you are also going through experience of a pleasurable or a painful experience. All that is real during your dream. It becomes unreal when you wake up. But during your dream, if you see a snake, your fear is as real as if you would see a snake in real life. समझ गए? ये बात है. तो सब ये क्या है? मिथ्या जाल है. It's all illusory but very real looking. The illustration of dream is given because everyone experiences. That's why you may have seen why Swamiji, why all these scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, all these give us this example of dream, because everybody has it. Some people dream less, some people dream more, but we all at least sleep. We all sleep. Some get more deep sleep, some get less sleep, but without sleep we will go mad. If you don't get sleep for 6-7 days in a row, your body will be in bad shape. That's why they say we all need 5 to 7 hours of sleep. 7 hours is a good number, they say generally. So sages use the language of the ignorant in order to enlighten them. So if dream can do all this, it is just to show you that that is how powerful your consciousness is. So once you understand that it can do all that for you, then you start learning how to meditate, because now you want to do it while you are awake. What is meditation? Trying to get to the deep sleep state while you are awake. So that is the early stage where we close our eyes, steady our body, take deep breaths, calm down our thoughts, calm down our mind, and go deep, try to connect with the object and have that moment of peace. That is meditation 101. But as you experience more and more deeper meditations, then you should be doing Sahaj Samadhi. You can be in Manhattan in the middle of 42nd Street and you are still meditating, walking, talking, eating while meditating. That is what is a high state. That is our goal, not just to become like stones. Although that is the early stage and required, so we can feel what it is. In Brahman, there is neither the waking state, nor the dream state, nor the sleep state, nor anything of this world of multiplicity. Brahman or consciousness, they are all beyond our wildest imagination, and therefore it is not available in the marketplace. Otherwise it would be available. Can I buy some enlightenment please from Costco? Everything else is available, but that has to be earned. Just like you have to earn your education, you have to earn your salary by doing in the work, isn't it? Everything, whatever you have to do, and you respect it more, you earn it. When you earn it, you value it. Otherwise it's like Brahman alone is the transcendental reality, self-effulgent, the goal of self-effort of the nature of pure consciousness. So that Brahman or that consciousness is our Atma, and then through that our job is what? To find that. Where is it? What does it do? How is it doing its light and images and creation, and whatever we experience, it's happening through that. So who is that self? Who is creating it? How do you see that light? And the way you do it is through one day at a time, purify, 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 because it's like a dirty mirror. When the mirror is dirty, you can't see your face. You have to wipe it, clean it. And that cleaning process is the purification, we say. So what was in the beginning, the same continues to exist even today. Nothing changes. It's the same stuff happening again and again. Just like your life is nothing but a cycle of repetition, isn't it? What is it we have done? We wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we eat our breakfast, we go to work, we come back, we have lunch, we watch some TV, we go to the park, we play with kids, and then it's night time. You eat some dinner, you brush your teeth, and you sleep. Again, next day, the same old thing is happening again and again and again. Only your actions may differ here, there. If you are into satsang, then you will like listening to going deeper, meditating more. Or if you are into the world, you are doing worldly things, playing soccer, going here, working, watching shows. But that's all you are doing, and then you're repeating it again and again till you depart from this world, isn't it? So that's what here they're saying, that the nature of pure consciousness is all nothing but repetition. Look at the earth rotating, moon rotating around the earth rotating around the sun rotating around the higher suns, and sun being million times bigger than this earth is nothing but a small star in the cosmos. So that is what here is meant by that consciousness or Brahman. It is beyond our comprehension. So from the fullness of the Brahman, fullness alone has proceeded. That is that mantra, Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So that means that this is full, from full only arises. Like two parents get together, produce a baby, the baby is full, you are also full. And just like every fruit you eat, the fruit has a seed, and the seed is potent to create another fruit, and it can create another tree, and the tree will have hundreds of fruits like that, isn't it? Much in the same way, this whole world is made up of fullness only. It doesn't divide, it doesn't multiply. Actually there is only one, but it looks like multiple. There is only one consciousness or Brahman, but that consciousness has expanded into many different places. So with this we conclude our satsang, and we will finish this section and start from section 211 and 212, which says this world is nothing but Brahman. So as you can see, this is a journey that has a lot of repetition. We keep repeating the same thing, and that is intentional. Like they say, it's not a bug, it's a feature. We say it again and again because our mind over countless lifetimes has been addicted to running to the world. So now we have to compensate for it, to keep coming back to it again and again. Like you teach a young boy, A for apple, B for boy. You show him a big ball, yeah, big letters, then small letters, then sentences, words, all those things come with time. So this is what we have to um, do and understand, and that is the journey, and slowly it will add up. Don't look to build Rome in one day. So be patient with yourself, do what you can. It's consistency is the key. Doing even 15 to 30 minutes every day is much better than doing 7 hours one day and then losing all steam and not doing it for 5 months. That is useless. That is not the way to success. Success is like you brush your teeth daily, you have to pray daily, meditate daily. Do little, don't do too much, just little that you can adjust and adapt. So with this we conclude our satsang. Hari Om Tat Sat. Let's do our arti together with some bhakti, because we study some very deep philosophy, deep religion, deep literature, and this is how our consciousness benefits through it. Consciousness doesn't need any benefit, actually it's always there. It's for us to understand the consciousness a little bit better, that is through the grace of all these sages and saints. Hari Om Tat Sat. जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक, विघ्न विनायक श्री गणेशा। जय जय आरती सुब्रह्मण्य, सुब्रह्मण्य कार्तिकेया। जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला, वेणुगोपाला वेणुलोला। पाप विदुरा नवनीत चोरा। जय जय आरती वेंकटरमणा, वेंकटरमणा संकट हरणा। सीतारामा राधे श्यामा। जय जय आरती गौरी मनोहर, गौरी मनोहर भवानी शंकर। सांबा सदा शिव उमा महेश्वर। जय जय आरती राजराजेश्वरी, राजराजेश्वरी त्रिपुर सुंदरी। महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाशक्ति। जय जय आरती आंजनेया, आंजनेया हनुमंता। जय जय आरती दत्तात्रेया दत्तात्रेया त्रिमूर्ति अवतारा जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयम् अग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ओम शांति शांति शांति. So let us do the concluding mantras for world peace and for everybody's good health, harmony, peace and happiness. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormokshiyamamritat. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. That is so wonderful. I'm reading some of your comments before we quit. Thank you all for a very lovely, lively interaction. Many beautiful comments from so many of you. I'm reading Jenna G's comments. It's so wonderful. You're sad that the satsang is over. Uh, well, bless you, Jenna. May you continue to be a part of our satsang family. And Yogini Ji, my heart is delighted that you're here today. That is extra pleasing because I thought you were going through so much. And let's pray for Brandon also for his recovery and for your safety with your health condition. May you be happy and healthy, joyful. And Radhaji, I know we are speaking less these days, but I'm so happy that you are moving on and doing many exciting things with your kids and yourself and your life. So continue to keep satsang as your base, important base. Many people don't know about it. They are missing out on such important knowledge, such divine wisdom. So thank you to all. And Shankarji, you also made it. You are also, I wasn't expecting you, but so happy to see you. Meeraji, of course, all of you wake up so early in London, England. So bless you all for doing your tapasya sadhana. All of you are special souls. May you continue to be blessed and make this world a better place. If each of us does what we are doing with even one or two more people, you can make this, your mission of life. And that's what is the best rewarding thing, is to bring somebody into this fold that gives them this beautiful thing. So I'm very happy, Radhaji, you did a beautiful thing by bringing Jenna. And Jenna, you can pay back by sharing this wisdom with others, because one lit candle can light so many other lit candles. Each of us can do many things. So we all are playing a beautiful role in this universe, and may you continue to do that. Hari Om Tat Sat. We will see you Sunday at 11 a.m. for Bhagavad Gita from the temple, I think. And then we will have like 2 weeks of holiday from the temple because of Christmas and New Year's. But we still plan to do Gita unless a lot of you text me. Let me know if you want to continue or if you want to take some holiday time. We can adjust and adapt accordingly. So, but this Sunday we are still having our Gita, and that will be at 11 a.m. California time. So Hari Om Tat Sat, divine blessings, stay healthy, stay peaceful, joyful, and bring joy in the life of others. You know, the the best way to pay back to this, the gratitude of our Guru and this satsang, is that you become the satsang. Whoever you touch, whoever you talk to should be inspired, should feel happy, should want to change their life. Then you are living the satsang all the time. That's my prayer and blessings to each of you. May you all be inspirational in others' lives. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.